In part 5 we looked at Scotland's existing powers under devolution. In this video we're going to look at Scotland's powers after the vote on the 18th of September. So here's the current situation. The total powers of government are divided between the blue section, which is managed by the Scottish Government, and the reserve power shown in red, which is controlled by the UK Government. This is going to change no matter what happens on the 18th of September. If there is a yes vote, then Scotland will be an independent country and all of the powers of government will be taken on by the Scottish Government. If there is a no vote, then things will also change, because the reserve powers shown in red are going to be further divided as a result of a thing called the Scotland Act 2012. So if there's a no vote, then Scotland will take on additional devolved powers after the 18th of September. So let's look at those in turn. If there's a yes vote, the additional powers of the Scottish Government will be as follows: Scottish Defence and National Security, Foreign Policy for Scotland, Immigration and Nationality, Energy, Employment Legislation, Social Security and Benefits, all aspects of transport, including the railways, the regulation of professions, Scottish constitutional matters, and other things such as data protection, broadcasting and gambling, and the big one, which is Scottish economic and monetary policy. Now, there is a potential question mark here because this depends on the currency question. There are three possible scenarios for a Scottish currency, and in 2 out of 3 of those situations, Scotland would not have 100% control over all aspects of the economic and monetary policy. So that's really quite important, and if you'd like to learn more about that, then please have a look at our Inforendum video part 3, which is called The Big Currency Question. So moving on, if we look at what will happen under a no vote and what additional powers the Scottish Government would get. Well, these powers are defined in the Scotland Act 2012. It's already completely agreed between the Scottish and UK governments and is an existing Act of Parliament. So if a referendum results in a no vote, then these extra powers will happen and they'll start to take effect in 2015 and 2016. The additional powers that come in under the Scotland Act 2012, first of all, there'll be a new Scottish rate of income tax that starts in 2016. There'll be new borrowing powers for the Scottish Government. There'll be power to introduce new taxes subject to agreement with the UK Government. The Scottish Government will have full control of stamp duty and landfill taxes. It'll have powers to set the national speed limit in Scotland. It'll have powers related to the misuse of drugs, drink drive limits and use of air weapons. And there'll be a Scottish representation on the BBC, and powers related to the administration of Scottish elections. So this question about a Scottish income tax is interesting, and it's worth looking at how that will work in this little scenario here. So here we have someone who's earning a wage and paying tax to the taxman, and let's take the basic rate of income tax, which is currently 20 pence. Now, as things stand today, that 20 pence goes to HM Treasury, which collects all of the money from all of the taxes and then divides them out across all of the public services in the UK, including some back to Scotland. What's going to happen in future is that the Scottish Government is going to play a role in this. If there is a yes vote, then effectively all of the money will go to the Scottish Government instead of to the Treasury. However, if there is a no vote, then what's going to happen is this. The money is going to be divided up. 10 pence is going to go to the central treasury, and the rest of it is going to go directly to the Scottish Government for the Scottish Government to spend. The other thing that's interesting about this under the Scotland Act 2012 is that the rate of Scottish income tax can be varied. So at the moment the total rate is 20 pence, but the Scottish Government could either keep the additional Scottish rate at 10 pence, or they could raise 9 pence or 11 pence. And when you add that to the basic 10 pence that's going to the central government, you could end up with higher or lower or the same level of tax in Scotland.